I'm going to show you how to make post stitches now. They are very textured stitches and they're very simple to do, but it can be quite confusing sometimes when you first start and you don't know where to put your hook. So I've just got some random stitches placed here in front. So I'm going to do a front post stitch. Now you can do this with any size stitch and you'll have to confirm with your pattern which post stitch you're required to do. We begin by I'm going to make some double crochet, because when you make a post stitch you're basically going to be working around the post of another stitch, usually below, sometimes a long way down below, it depends on the pattern, but usually it will tell you where to make your post stitch. So we're going to make a post stitch around these half double crochet that I have here. Now because the word itself says post, we're going to go down from the one side of it and come up from the other back of it, up the other side, but because we're going in from the front, it's called a front post stitch. Right? There are other ways to do it as well. Sometimes people just go under those top loops and come back under the other top loops. That gives you a much more shallow stitch, and I'll show you them both. So let's do a front post double crochet, yarn over. We're going to go down, I'll come straight down to here, down and up and around, pull the yarn through, and then we just complete a double crochet as normal. Now I'm doing a double crochet here, even though I did half doubles here, because I need the height, because I'm going down. You can see that. All right, let's do it again. Yarn over, down in front of the stitch and up from the back of it, pull the yarn through and complete a double crochet, in this case as normal. And move over and just skip one just to give it a clear view. Yarn over, down from one side, up from the back to the other side, pull the yarn through, pull through two twice to complete a double crochet. And that's what they look like. Now from the back, all you should see when you're making post stitches are these horizontal bars around the back of the stitch you're doing the post on. Okay. From the front, it will pull forward a bit because you're working basically in front of the work here. It will pull forward, but then your subsequent rounds and rows will fix that up. Okay, so you're not going into the top of these stitches. You're not just working a normal double crochet. You are wrapping your double crochet. Here's a normal double crochet. Goes into the top stitch there, the top of the stitch, but the post stitch comes down and around the entire previous stitch below and wraps it. So you can see the difference. My little double crochet is getting pulled down because these are lower than this one is. So you can see a normal double crochet sits in the stitch, or it could be in a gap, but in this case it's in a stitch, and the post stitches, the front post stitches, are just wrapping around our post behind, and from the front that's all you can see. You can see a stitch down below. So that's a front post stitch. And as I said, you can do them two ways. I'll do another one. Down from one side, up from the other side, pull the yarn through, pull through twice to make a front post double crochet. Now sometimes, I'll move over a little bit again, you're asked to make a front post stitch but going under the top loops only. So the way we do that is, instead of going right down, you can see the third loop back there. That's the third loop, front loop, back loop, and the third loop back there. When we're doing a regular post stitch, we go under that third loop as well. But sometimes you'll be asked to go only under the two top loops to create your post stitch. So you go under the two top loops, you come back around under the next two top loops, leaving those third loops free. You can see them, there's one there, and you can just see this one under here. It's a bit hard, but there it is. And then you complete that double crochet. And look, I've been yanking it, but it'll give you a much more shallow effect. I'll do another one. And another one. See how we're going in from there, up from there, leaving that third loop behind. So we're not completely wrapping around the entire post of the stitch. And now you can see that third loop hanging underneath. You can just see it there, under there. Whereas here we have gone under it, so it's pushed up higher. But you get a less obvious texture with going under the top loops. It's kind of hard to see on a camera, but you can see here this has gone deeper under all of the loops, and this has gone very shallow just under the top loops. So check your patterns, make sure what you're doing is the right thing, because the texture will matter to the designer. They've done it a specific way for a specific reason. So this is going around the full post. For example, if I did it down here, I would go down here like that under the full post, down and up from the front. So it's a front post because we're working it from the front. Or we could go from there and under there and do the same thing, but a more shallow textured effect. So that's a front post double crochet I've been doing across here. Okay.